Okay, so we're going to start to create a new form, and in this form it's just going to be a survey. So the first thing we want to talk about is naming our survey, and we have two different places. I could start here on the survey itself, and this is what the users or participants are going to see, or I could start up here, and this is what I can see when I um, look for the form that to use later in my Google Drive. So either way, I can start to name this, and I'm going to name this one Parent Volunteers. And all I have to do is click on the other spot that is empty, and the name carries over. So super easy, and you can see that all changes are saved in my Google Drive. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is this color palette. This is going to customize our theme, which this is going to allow me to choose an image. And all the images are, there's a lot of them to choose from. They are categorized by topic. I'm going to leave it at work and school since that's where we are. And then I can scroll through their little gallery of images. I could also upload my own, and I can also choose from my photos. So for this one, I'm just going to stick to my theme. I'm going to select the jelly beans, and I'm going to say insert. And there it is. Now you notice that the rest of my document, the rest of the form, changed colors because Google goes ahead and picks out the colors that are in the image and produces a little palette for you to choose from to make some further customizations. I'm just going to darken, here's the theme colors, these are all located in this picture, but for the background I'm just going to change it to darken it just a little bit. And then I have a choice of font style. So there aren't very many choices here. I'm going to stick to basic, and I would recommend that we, especially for classroom use, that we stick to formal, playful, or basic. This decorative can be a little bit confusing to especially the younger students. So that is how we can make some personalizations. Um, I'm going to just go back to this image upload just for a second. If I were going to upload, I could have browsed through my desktop files, or I could have just simply dragged and dropped. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure we clarified that. All right, the next piece is the preview page, and we'll get back to that after we have a form created. That will give us the view of the participant itself, and that's helpful in checking things out and making sure things look the way we really want them to look. But next is really important is to talk about the settings. Because this is a survey for general information that I want to collect, I'm going to stick with general. And I do want to collect people's email addresses. So this is not an anonymous survey. If you wanted to keep it anonymous, you would certainly not collect email addresses. But I'm going to, because this is for a classroom situation, and I want to be able to contact the people who are participating at a later date. All right, response receipt, I can choose to give it if the respondent requests or always. And for this particular form, I'm going to stick to always because I'm asking for volunteers to participate in the holiday parties and so forth. So I want the respondent to get a copy of what they signed up for back to their email. So that's a helpful tool. All right, requiring sign-in, I could restrict this to my own domain. But because this is parents and it's going out to the public, I do not want to restrict that. So anybody, they do not have to have a Google account. Anybody can fill in this survey. And if I limit it to one response, then they are going to be required to sign into Google. So I'm going to take that out also. And the next thing for our settings would be if the respondent can change or edit their submission. And so if I want them to be able to come in and say, oh yeah, I forgot, I cannot attend the Valentine's Day party, and they can remove their name, we can let them do that here. And if they want to see a summary of the text responses, they can. So this is one of the few times in Google that you have to hit save, and that's going to lock down all of those settings. So now we are ready to proceed with the next section.